I'm a Connor. Connors are, by and large, opposed to the races, or any other reckless, glory-seeking pagan nonsense for that matter. Thank you very much. Connors don't race, it just isn't done. But I'm also a McBride, and if there's 4 things you need to know about a McBride, it's this. We always race. We never win. We don't die. And we make a mean November cake. That's the rumour anyway. The McBrides have had a man in the race probably ever since there was a Scorpio races. Long as anybody can remember, there's been a McBride in the race. My granddad, his dad, his granddad, his granddad's dad, and so on. You get the picture. But see, granddad was the first in a long, long line of McBrides to have 3 lovely daughters and exactly no sons. And of course back then the races were strictly a man's game, and granddad be damned if he let one of his girls ride in the race so long as he lived. Which for the most part was just fine with his daughters. They had no interest in the races to begin with. So he continued to ride in the races every year until he unfortunately got sick and died one spring, leaving the island with no male McBrides to ride in the races that year. Now, Brona McBride was the only one of his daughters still left living on the island. Claire and Maeve had long since moved away to the mainland, so she decided to enter the races in his honour to carry on the McBride legacy, riding Grandad's copple stallion, Buckley. Now, her husband, Nathaniel Connor, was none too pleased, but from what I understand, Brona McBride was not a woman you'll be wanting to say no to. So she started training months early, rain or shine, every day she was out there riding. But as we all know, when it comes to training a Kapalishka, sometimes it doesn't matter how dedicated, how careful you are. Sometimes the couple just gets a wild hair or a whiff off the sea and it's all over. Luckily, Brona survived after Buckley turned on her, but it was really rough and she had to go to the hospital. And she learned that not only was the island smiling on her that day, sparing her life, but also she had a little bit of a bun in the oven. Yours truly. So she couldn't race, and she was devastated. I guess so much so that my dad actually decided to enter the races in her place as Nathaniel McBride to carry on the family legacy. How cool is that, right? My mum helped him train by coaching on the sidelines until it was time for the race itself. And in the end, he did just fine. He didn't win, but he didn't die in true McBride fashion. However, Mum went into early labour during the race and actually passed away during the delivery. After Mum's funeral, Aunt Clara actually moved back from the mainland to the island, moved in with us to, you know, help raise me. So Dad understandably hates the races, doesn't want anything to do with them, doesn't want me to have anything to do with them either, but the race didn't kill Mum. It wasn't even a couple that killed Mum. And if it wasn't for me showing up in the first place, she wouldn't have let anything stop her from racing. If it wasn't for me, she'd still be alive. I never knew my mum, but this time of year when the mist comes in and the air gets cold and the festival starts up and the Kapalishka start coming up out of the water and the tourists come and it gets crowded and there's all this energy in the air, that's when I feel the closest to her. It's like I can feel her around, you know? Like she's here still. And I don't know, maybe it sounds stupid, but I feel like joining the races is like the least I can do for her, you know? I'm sorry, what was the other question? Oh, it's really not about winning or losing for me, honestly. McBrides never win anyway. And I really don't have all that much at stake. Personally, not compared to some. Some people I know stand to lose their jobs, their homes, their families. If I don't win, my life will mainly just go back to whatever version of normal it was before. I mean, we all risk losing our lives. I know that. But you don't have to win to survive the race. You just have to not die. I wish I could say that I had something important to motivate me to really win this. But if I'm being honest, it's just winning is just not what this is all about for me. It's beside the point. It's the race. This race, this year, with this couple. There hasn't been a McBride in the race for 25 years now. Mum was 25 years old the year she died, the year she almost raced. And on the day of the Scorpio races this year, I'll be turning 25 myself. And you know, no thanks to me, we'll never know if Mum might have been the first McBride to ever win the Scorpio races. But who knows, maybe I could. And I can't think of a better tribute than that for the Mum I never got to know. So I hope you understand, I have to do this. There's no question. Backing out now is just not an option. I'm doing it. Period.